And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another stadium review. Yes, if you saw the vlog, we went to Cleveland, Ohio for the day. Did the Rock Hall, which that might be out, that might be not. But we also went to Progressive Field, home of the Cleveland Guardians, to watch the Tigers play against the Guardians back on July 24th. Sadly, the Tigers lost 2-1, but it was still, a pretty decent game. But this is going to be a review of the stadium overall, not necessarily the on-field product or anything like that. Just going to be a comprehensive review of everything that you can experience. You can expect to experience if you want to go to Progressive Field for either a Guardians game or some other event. So, I got a lot of thoughts, so let's jump right into it, shall we? First off, I gotta say, when you walk in, it's a nice exterior as well. It's definitely they definitely have some cool stuff going there. Some really nice exterior designs, but also a cool concourse when you walk in, because the concourse is a very good open feel to it. Some stadiums, the basketball stadiums and like a domed places, obviously this is not going to be the case. But even for like some open air stadiums, it just feels very congested in the concourse areas, walking around trying to get to your seats or getting food or something like that. But not here at all. And also it provides some really good views of the city from a ground level. And That's pretty cool too, because you can just there's nice breezes, or there's just like open areas to just walk around and enjoy your time if you don't really want to be in your seat the whole time. So there's that. And then also there's nice views of the city with the backdrop. And that's something kind of you get with Comerica Park as well. And that's a really cool touch. I know other stadiums have that too, but I haven't visited them. But this is a really cool one, and I really like the backdrops with the buildings and stuff. It's very cool to see. So definitely some good views of the city, a nice backdrop, good concourse too. I think it was really enjoyable just to walk around here. I mean, there's a nice bar area that I pointed out in the vlog. Lots of different areas to go, things to do. Even with part of the stadium under renovations, that wasn't a huge issue, except for the team store being closed, but they had other stuff for merch, so it didn't really matter. So that was good. But there's one area in the stadium. I thought it was just generic stuff for stadiums, like a bar area, food stands, bathrooms, shops, all that kind of stuff. They do have a cool area, like it's like honoring all of the retired numbers, or like retired players, like Hall of Famers from the Cleveland Guardians time. And you have to go down like in by the way, it was like by a bullpen area, so you can see like the bullpen, which is really cool. But the area was like, they were talking about how it's like dedicated for people with disabilities, or like meant it was because it was like whole disability awareness type night and everything like that. And they had like a special signage just for this area, and you, but there was like no handicap accessibility. It was just regular stairs. They did have like a wheelchair lift for people who could use that, but you couldn't just build a ramp. Like, that doesn't make much sense why you wouldn't just build a ramp, or like something else to accommodate people other than just the stairs. It just doesn't make any sense. um yeah, that was a really bizarre, really bizarre thing. And I also pointed that out in the vlog if you want to go check that out. But oh man, that was crazy. But it's a cool area if you ignore that part. Some cool stuff. They do have the it still does say Cleveland Indians, not Cleveland Guardians. So, but not bad otherwise. I like that area, and the view of the bullpen is cool. Um, and then other stuff. I'll talk about the prices a little bit. I didn't actually buy any food. The drink prices though, for like a regular pop, was like $6, which is a little high, but nothing too crazy. And Pomeroy did buy some peanuts as well for $5, which I think is a little high, but apparently is pretty normal for stadium food. There's a lot of options though. There's a ton of food stands. I didn't really get to take a too in-depth look about what they specifically offered at each of those stands, but there's definitely lots of places to go, which helps for line congestion and also congestion around the concourse, which is another reason why it feels so open, is because there's so much ways to be efficient, which is good. So, um, but then the souvenir prices, though, where I'm really not happy with the prices. It was $13 for a regular pin. Just a regular pin. I mean, it was the City Connect, but you didn't offer anything like it in the regular version. And the regular ones are not that much cheaper. That was just a little high, in my opinion. Comerica Park does it better. I think other places do it better. Come on. Come on. What are you doing? And with the store, the official store being closed for the renovations, they have this booth set up where, and then like you can kind of see, you can see what you're going to buy, but you can't see the prices until they actually ring it up, and then they guilt trip you to buying it anyways. Like, come on, come on, that's not the way to do it. Jeez. um that was a little bit frustrating, but it wasn't a huge deal, so I can get over it pretty easily. But then for like stuff that you'll see like during the game as well, there's a good amount of stuff that they do for engaging people during innings of games. Um, I didn't think it was anything like super generic. I didn't think it was anything super unique. They did play the Ohio song or whatever that is, but otherwise there's just stuff you could probably see at other games as well. But they kind of put their own little Cleveland twist on it, which was cool. I also like some of the graphics though that they put on the screen. The screen is huge and it leaves a lot of room for for facts and stuff. They put facts about the players, opposing fans too, opposing players. They did a really good job with doing for both teams. The opening graphics were amazing. The editors for that, big credit to you. That was awesome. And there's overall a lot of other cool like graphics and stuff, and they really do a good job of keeping the fans just overall engaged, and making sure they're informed, and it's really really good. So I really like that. Um, the last thing I gotta say, well, actually, I got a couple more things to say. I had a very pleasant experience with the staff and fellow and Guardians fans. And this is more just not about the state. The fan part is not really about the stadium itself, but I'm going to comment on it anyways because I didn't really get a chance to do that in the vlog, because we had to rush out for some reason. Didn't really matter. But anyway, um, the staff though were really nice. At the getting into the stadium, walking around the stadium, a lot of people were commenting on our Tigers gear, and just really making sure we were well accommodated, especially when we were looking for our seats. We had a little bit of trouble finding our seats because the designated sections, and like some sections they're sorted by levels, and to get another level, obviously you got to climb stairs. Not here. The 400 level and the 500 level are on the same set of like grandstands. So it's a little confusing there, but they did a really good job at directing us, the guy who was working that area of the stadium. So that was really good. And overall, just a very pleasant experience from the staff. They seem very friendly, very inviting. And that's what you like to see, especially as an opposing fan. You still want to we still want to have a good time. And when you give off very friendly, inviting energy, we're not going to be very hard on you guys either. At least that's my kind of philosophy with all that kind of stuff. Even though Cleveland isn't an interdivision rivalry, and they are winning the division, I didn't feel as much animosity towards the fans or the staff as maybe I would at say when we went to see the White Sox Tigers game a few years ago, because they were not so nice to us, and that really sucked. But what are you gonna do? Speaking about the fans, though, I had one specific interaction I want to mention. It was after the game, and we were walking down the stairs to get to the main level to leave the stadium, and a Guardians fan with I noticed my shirt. I was wearing my Miguel Cabrera jersey, and he noticed that it was a Miguel Cabrera jersey, and he commented on it, and I said, yeah, we had some nice interactions, and then the game was over by this point. So he's like, yeah, sorry you guys lost. It was a good effort, and that's a really cool thing. It's like just being really nice and upfront about it. So that was cool. We were able to talk about it and stuff, and it was a really friendly interaction. And which is another thing I really, like I said, didn't really get at the White Sox game. We got cussed out, we got cursed out by fans there just for having Tigers gear on. We weren't really being that rude or anything like that. And that's kind of, how that works. But it's really cool. To notice that and for people to be like that, it just feels more like just much more of an inviting experience overall. So that was cool. And they also do fireworks after the game. That's the last thing I want to talk about. They do fireworks after the game, like right after the game. If they win, they shoot off fireworks. They also shoot off fireworks after, I think, home run. Maybe, I don't remember. They do like the Mario jump thing, which is really cool too. So that's cool. It caught me off guard though. They shot out like the game had just ended and they started shooting off fire. Like, whoa, my god, I didn't even know they were gonna do that. So that was cool. But overall, I had a very pleasant experience with this stadium. Um, Overall, just very friendly people. Really pretty looking stadium. Very wide open. Great stuff to see. Keeps you engaged throughout the game, and the prices for the seats were not terrible. I mean, they were very high up, but they were still a pretty good view of the game. We could see everything going on, so it wasn't a huge deal there. So that's why I would recommend this stadium. I'd give it probably an 8 or a 10, 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 even. It was a really nice stadium, and I definitely do want to go back once those renovations are complete to get a more full experience with everything that we kind of, even though it wasn't a huge impairment, we still didn't get to quite see everything. So I'd like to do that again. But if you've never been, I would also 100% recommend going to see a game here, as long as you can get fairly cheap tickets. So I think it would be a very enjoyable experience for sure. So, and I really didn't think I'd have these thoughts about them like being super friendly because they're a rivalry, and I'm not. I hate the Guardians, but I enjoyed it. It was good. So that's all I got to say for this review. If you have ever been to Progressive Field, I'd love to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And so that's going to do it for this video, though, as well. So stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more stadium reviews and other awesome stuff. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.